real quickly about what is right here. And what we were talking about before, oh, I don't think we have weather 6 up there because I don't see that on the screen. So, oh, there it is. All right, cool. So that's the area of rotation right there. And the way these thunderstorms are oriented is this is light rain through here. Here's an update coming through. This is very heavy rain right here, and then the circulation is right there on the back end. So that's the part where the tornado possibly could be. That's the strongest area of rotation, and that's the area that we have to watch out for. Now, the other storm we were watching that prompted the tornado warning, it's over here. It's moved on out into the Everglades, and I expect them to expire that tornado warning or cancel it. But we're asking the National Weather Service, because the Hurricane Center does the hurricane watches and warnings. The National Weather Service does the tornado warnings, and the National Storm Prediction Center does the tornado watches. We're under a tornado watch, but we're seeing now some tornado warnings here.
So you have quite a lot to keep up on, Craig. Can you tell us how common it is to have these tornadoes during a hurricane?
Well, it's fairly common because we get tornadoes in strong wind fields and unstable air when we have thunderstorms. And so in this case, what's happening is the wind field around Irma is strong, and near the coast, the land slows down the wind near the ground, so it's a little bit of a different direction than the wind right above the ground. All right, so a new tornado warning now just coming out, and this may be, yeah, so that's the storm we were just talking about, and now a new tornado warning now for that storm. This is the storm here we're talking about, and this tornado warning covers basically Port Everglades, Fort Lauderdale downtown, and if this storm follows the last storm's tracks, relatively speaking, it's going to go basically in that general direction. So, folks, if the rain starts falling really heavily and you're in Port Everglades, Fort Lauderdale, along 595 and north of 595, about as far north as Commercial Boulevard, if the rain gets really, really heavy, I would just kind of get into a center room there and let this thing pass. But the deceptive thing is that as soon as the rain ends, if there is a tornado, that's where the tornado is. So you can't say, oh, the rain ended, let's go out and look at it, because potentially there's the tornado.
Right, and we'll have video. No need to go out and look at it. Well, that's our job to try to get that to you and turn that around as soon as possible. And it looks like a bigger area now when you see that graphic, right, Craig? Well,
yeah, there's really, the thunderstorm's pretty big, but there's really just one little part right there where the tornado's occurring in that storm.
And I'm just a little concerned that we've seen back-to-back tornadoes here, and you say this is just something we're going to have to ride out. I mean, is there any way of knowing how long this is going to go on? Because if you're in one of these affected areas and you get socked with one of these things and then another one back to back, it's a lot to deal with. How many more should people anticipate?
Right. So let's zoom out and see. Okay. So. And you can see here they're kind of lining up in an arc with the rotation around Irma. So there's one potential tornadic storm out there, way out there. There's a pretty good break after that one, but then we've got this one near Fort Lauderdale. Then we've got this next one that moved over the Everglades, and we've even got more tornadoes, warned storms up there in southern Palm Beach County. So the one that we're dealing with right now clearly is the one that is just coming on shore right here. There's been an increase in lightning, which sometimes is an indication of an intensification of the storm. And I'm going to loop it here, and I do this. You'll see there it's moving so quickly, and you kind of get a line of how it's moving there.
Wow. On the right-hand side of your screen, next to the radar, live pictures from Fort Lauderdale, and you can just see the darkness there. It looks as though night has descended. It is 7 o'clock. We're at the top of the hour. And Craig, I know we're getting now hourly updates on the positioning of Irma. As we take a look at these storm tornadoes moving through Broward County, is there anything new that you're able to see on this top of the hour update?
So the top of the hour update still has Category 3 with 125-mile-an-hour winds. Just a 5-mile-an-hour wind increase would bring it back to Category 4. So we're really upper end Category 3. Pressure hasn't changed much. There's a reef light southeast of Key Largo that just recently reported a wind gust of 56 miles an hour, and Marathon has sustained winds now of 46 with gusts of 62. Really no changes other than that. The storm looks like it is moving, let me check, yeah, in the same direction as of the last update there.
Wow, well, we do have Hank Tester's camera back up. Hank, are you with us?
Hank should look south.
And I guess we should clarify, in case you hear those sirens in the background, that is a noise that goes off in weather control, where Craig and Liz are working to notify them of these tornado. Is that a tornado watch, or
that only goes off for a tornado warning to give us in here a heads up that it's a very urgent situation. We need to move quickly.
Okay.
So there's a new tornado warning now in far south Miami-Dade, Homestead and Florida City. Tornado in this general area, let me stop it here from looping, would be right in here and moving to the west. So folks in Homestead and Florida City also under the gun with this situation there, and that storm that's racing to the west there.
Wow.
All right, so Hank, we have your picture up, Lauderdale by the sea. We see the dark skies, we see the trees blowing, the heavy surf there. What are you experiencing right now?
Okay, what I just saw, and you can kind of see it as it's disappearing underneath the palms that are blowing right straight west from here, was what appeared to be another one of those tornadic cloud formations. It had not gone down towards the ground at all, but it was trying to work its way down to the ground. It's now obscured by the building that is right in front of Peter's shot there, but we did definitely see something that looked suspicious, I'll put it that way. And again, you've got that kind of signature really dark area that is again flowing to the directly west off of the water. Now we are right at the tip of Commercial Boulevard. It's Commercial Boulevard. We're actually a block to the south of it, where that other basically tornado area was spotted. So again, a lot of lightning in the area. We're gonna kind of maybe creep back right now. Is that another hurricane? I mean, tornado warning in the background? Is that my phone?
That's right.
You got to change your ringer, Hank, if that's your phone.
Oh my God!
So
Okay.
That's our alerts going off.
A little jumpy out here, folks.
Are you okay, Hank?
Let's pull back inside. Oh yeah, we're fine. It just that we kind of got tangled up, and as you can see, we're walking around, moving a live unit, and poor Peter's having to carry that, and I'm trying to hold this phone and keep it out of the water, and so on and so forth. But yeah, and I don't know. Let's look to the north. This would be toward Palm Beach. No, nothing we can really see other than the condos are obscured. The sea is a little more angry now than it was the last time we talked. But you've got, and I have to just throw this in. A little while ago, I walked outside, and you know that these kind of weather situations happen when cold meets warm and so on. I felt like a cool breeze for like just an instant. It was really strange, kind of a strange phenomenon. I don't know where it came from, and there's certainly no air conditioning on outside. So I don't know if that has anything to do with all this, but it was a strange situation. Sorry about that, folks.
Well, that's interesting. You should mention that, Hank, because Silva and Bianca, who are both outside as well, they both described that same kind of cool front coming through.
Hold on, let's go check in one more time with Craig. What are you seeing, Craig?
So this track is a little bit further south than the earlier track. The other track was up in this general area here, like that. This one is a little bit further south in this general area here. So folks farther south than what we saw before, Fort Lauderdale.
South
Fort
of
Everglades.
595 now?
No, I'm sorry. It's east of 95, but still north of 595.
Okay.
So, and thanks, because we've got people on the radio that are listening to us and need to be very close with our details. Okay, new tornado warning for the lower Keys now, and that does include the 7 Mile Bridge, as well as, let me check here on that warning. So Pigeon Key, that's moving west at 70 miles an hour. So if you're hit by one of these, there's very little warning. Thankfully, they are not big tornadoes. They're small, and the winds on the top end would probably be in the 110 to maybe 130 mile an hour range.
All right, so we do have some new video, a different perspective of this whole weather system we've been talking about, Craig. I believe this was shot by Carrie Codd. Look at that. You can really see it forming there just in the middle of the street, in that empty street with the wind blowing, and you can kind of, I don't know, maybe Craig, you can explain to us exactly what this is.
Yeah, so that is what we call the updraft region there, and you can see the tornado coming out of the cloud and trying to come down. That part, the visible part that comes down, the gray part that kind of looks like a tube there or a hose, we call that the condensation funnel. And sometimes the condensation funnel comes all the way to the ground, sometimes it doesn't, but it doesn't have to come all the way to the ground. It doesn't have to visually come all the way to the ground to not be in contact with the ground. So it could be doing damage on the ground even though it looks like the funnel isn't quite touching the ground.
Wow. And I'm trying to get a sense of where this camera was positioned. Is this Hollywood Beach?
Fort Lauderdale.
This is Fort Lauderdale looking, but this is looking north. So it was probably shot from south of where this storm system was coming in, of course. But anyway, that's some new perspective, and you really get a clear idea. And if you are listening to us and not able to see the video, just a very, very menacing looking system with a tornado and that sprout coming out, the spout rather coming out of the bottom that signifies that this is a tornado. And Craig, you know, here we are. Hours and hours from this system, from Irma, you know, really beginning to show itself here in our area in a strong way. So, is this something that we should expect to see, this tornadic activity between now and say tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I mean, it's a distinct possibility. Let me zoom back out here again, and we'll also touch on the other tornado warning that is further to the south, and hopefully I don't zoom the wrong direction. Here we go. So. If you look carefully, this is what we call these little guys up here, and let me circle them for you. So they're little like thunderstorms in a row. And we call those, if they're rotating, we call those discrete supercells because they're just small and they're separate and they could contain tornadoes. And so that's what we've seen, more stronger or healthier looking discrete supercells down here. This one that's over Broward right now. There's this other one that's here offshore, but it's coming in too. And I think if you kind of just logically think about it, this last one was further south than the one before it, so the next one will probably be even a little bit farther south than that. And there's a pretty good line of activity right now that's just coming right in, and let me loop this here so you can get a sense of the motion, which is quickly to the west. That's over the last 15 minutes, so there's our Homestead tornado warning, which now is moving west of Homestead and Florida City. But any of these cells all along here that exhibit this kind of pattern of where the reds dip down to the south, they could also produce tornadoes, and it's the more discrete ones, the ones we're watching.
Wow, so Broward County is being affected by this. Miami-Dade County is being affected by this, and you can see in the box that the tornado warning is in effect until 7:30. So we've got about 20 more minutes of this. But as Craig said, as Irma continues to get closer and closer to us here in South Florida, we should expect to see more of this tornadic activity.
Yeah, and also a helpful tip for a lot of people who might not be able to see out the window, and you hear all that rain, he was saying that the tornado it can come behind that band of rain. So again, that might be an indication if you're in one of those areas under a warning or watch.
Very good point. And as Craig has said, if you are along this area just north of 595, where the system is moving in, you might want to get yourself into an interior room, get yourself away from windows, and just sort of ride this out. Again, the tornado warning is in effect for another 20 minutes or so.
And I guess we should say not get away from windows since we're shuttered up, but get away from the outside walls of the house. That's probably a better way to phrase it.
Okay, good. All right, thank you for clarifying that.
Okay, so you're looking on your screen at Lauderdale by the Sea. I believe this is the live picture, correct? Yes, this is the live picture, and we saw earlier from Hank that perspective, that view of this weather system that we're talking about coming in. There it is. And then this is the one from Hank in the beginning, and then we also saw from Carrie Codd, which was shot from A1A in Fort Lauderdale. Right now you're looking at the one from Lauderdale by the Sea, and Wow, it's really interesting to kind of see it. We've heard them described. Craig has described how it works and the science behind it and how it comes in, and we see the warnings. But when you actually get the perspective like this, actually seeing it looming beneath those dark clouds and kind of moving in. There's Carrie Caw's video shot from A1A in Fort Lauderdale. You really get a sense. You can't get much more clear than that on what this storm is doing.
You really can't. You really can't. And the idea of sort of this being sort of the normal for the next 12 to 24 hours is something that I'm sure is a little bit nerve-wracking for people here in South Florida. But again, take a look and be aware of what's going on around you, and be safe and be smart.
So guys, we're picking up a pretty strong rotation signature right there. This is what we call the Doppler mode of the radar here, and basically what it's telling me is that there's winds blowing very strongly that way, winds blowing very strongly that way, and then we infer rotation in the middle of that. That's how we find tornadoes with Doppler radar. So Roosevelt Gardens, right there along 95. And my only concern here is that I'm behind the curve on this because these storms are moving so quickly. So basically a line from Rock Island through Lauderdale Lakes and from Fort Lauderdale and Melrose Park through Plantation and Sunrise, that's the area that this cell right there is likely to sweep as it goes west. So get away from the exterior walls of your house if you are in that path there, including Sunrise, Plantation, Roosevelt Gardens, Tamarack, extreme southern Tamarack, Lauderdale Lakes, and Rock Island.
Really important information for our viewers or listeners. And Craig, can you kind of talk about how they travel? We saw them kind of look like they were out in the water coming inland. Can you talk about how they travel? Do they decrease? Do they increase? How do they kind of determine that area about who's under the warning?
Well, they in this type of case, when they're landfalling hurricane-produced tornadoes, they can form over the water. Sometimes they intensify a bit over land because there's friction of the land. So the air is blowing over the water, and there's not much resistance except for the waves. But once you come in closer to the land, you get these stronger wind shifts or changes with height of the atmosphere. So near the ground is blowing, say, from the east at 25, and then just above the ground it's east-southeast, and that just slight turning of the wind results in spinning in the clouds and the atmosphere.
And what types of areas or structures?
Okay, and guys, everybody that I just pointed out that area, there's a confirmed large tornado on the ground now in Lauderhill or Lauderdale Lakes? Lauderhill. Lauderhill Plantation. So that's this storm right here that we just talked about. There's Lauderhill.
Yep.
And this is likely where the tornado was, and I say was because this storm's moving so fast. So it's going in that general direction. So if you're in Lauderhill Plantation, Sunrise, you need to get into the interior of your house right now.
Take a deep breath. This is tough to watch, to know what's happening here. We're looking at the radar, but this is affecting real people's lives, not just pictures and colors on a screen. This is something that's happening right now, that's affecting people, and it's right here in our community.
Yeah, people we know and love, our family members, our friends, so we're all just kind of going through it together. And the good news is that we get this information before it gets there in most cases. So Craig is really watching all of this for us and monitoring it for us. And Craig, I'm wondering if you can talk about what kinds of structures are most vulnerable, or what kinds of areas are most vulnerable when a system like this moves through.
Well, typically mobile homes are most vulnerable, but in a hurricane you evacuate the mobile home. So, I mean, and I hate to phrase it this way, but if we're going to go through a little tornado outbreak here, thank goodness we are as prepared as we could be with our houses and things like that. There you can see the what we would almost infer as a hook echo, which is basically the rotation of the tornado is pulling rain from the thunderstorm and wrapping itself around it. And what we hope it's not, and we don't want to see, is debris. Sometimes the radar can pick up things that are picked up from the ground, and that shows up also.
And that's why everyone is supposed to be evacuated out of these areas, or not evacuated maybe in all of these areas where the tornadoes are coming, but definitely sheltered in place with shutters up, impact windows, and moving into the interior of their houses or structures.
Well, yeah, and that's really why we wanted everybody to be in, late in the day today and just sitting tight here, because even though there's not hurricane force winds here, it's better to just be inside and go through the coverage here.
I mean, what does this do to a car? Say a car is driving down the road when one of these moves through. What does it do?
Well, it could flip a car over. Hopefully, there's nobody out there, and that's not a factor, because that would certainly be kind of add insult to injury here. But these